The fluorescent lights in Jefferson High's science lab buzzed like angry bees. Miss Danielle Carter rubbed her temples, feeling the weight of another long Tuesday. 29 seniors, half awake, half texting under the tables. It wasn't the chemistry that drained her, it was the attitude. Danielle had served 12 years in the U.S. Army before teaching. She'd seen dust storms in Kandahar and the blank stare of soldiers running on no sleep. But nothing tested her patience like teenagers who thought the world owed them something. "All right," she said, chalk-tapping the board. "Today we're talking about exothermic reactions. Meaning heat's gonna..." A sharp voice cut through the room. "Yo, Miss Carter, guess heat's not the only thing black in here, huh?" Laughter, thin, nervous, then growing louder. Danielle's jaw tightened. The voice belonged to Tyler Bennett, quarterback, rich family, the kind of kid who never heard no. His smirk screamed untouchable. She met his eyes, calm, unshaken. "Mr. Bennett," she said, voice like steel wrapped in silk. "If you're done disrespecting yourself, maybe we can learn something." "Ooh," the class murmured. Phones were already recording. Tyler leaned back in his seat, arms folded. "I'm just saying, you talk tough for somebody who probably got this job from some diversity quota. That hit different." She felt the room freeze. Danielle inhaled slowly. "You think discipline comes from a quota, Tyler?" He grinned. "Yeah, bet you never even been tested." She could have told him about the IED that flipped her convoy, about the night she carried her sergeant half a mile under gunfire. But she just smiled. "Careful what you wish for," the class giggled nervously. By lunch, Tyler had posted a clip on Snap. "Our teacher thinks she tough." It went viral in school chat groups before last period. Danielle ignored it. She'd learned long ago that silence often hit harder than shouting, but Tyler didn't stop. He started calling her Drill Sergeant Carter behind her back. Every small correction she made turned into another joke. A Friday came, and so did the lab practical. Tyler strutted in with two buddies, whispering loud enough for her to hear. "Yo, I swear she got that angry black woman energy, bro. She'd probably yell at her cats at home." Danielle set beakers on the table. "Today's about precision and safety," she said, staring straight at him. "You break protocol, you're out." Tyler grinned. "Yes, ma'am." Halfway through the experiment, the smell of burning chemicals filled the air. Tyler had turned the Bunsen burner full blast, laughing as blue flame licked the glass. "Cut the gas," Danielle ordered. He didn't move. "Relax, Teach." "I got it." She stepped closer, calm but firm. "Turn it off, now." He turned to her, eyes cold. "Or what, you gonna boss me around like one of your army dudes?" His buddies laughed until the beaker cracked and boiling liquid splashed. Students screamed. Danielle grabbed the shut-off valve, killed the gas, and spun around. "Everyone back!" Tyler shoved his stool aside. "Don't touch me, lady." "I'm trying to keep you safe," she said, voice steady. He stepped forward, chest puffed. "You don't tell me what to do." And then, the moment that changed everything. He reached out, fingers closing around her throat. Gasps. Phones raised. For a split second, time stopped. Then training took over. Danielle pivoted her left foot, grabbed his wrist with both hands, and twisted. Tyler's grip broke instantly. She stepped to his side, swept his leg, and guided him down, not slammed. Guided, like she'd done 1,000 times in basic defense drills. He hit the floor, breathless. "Stay down," she said softly. The room was silent except for the hiss of cooling metal. The next morning, Jefferson High didn't sound like a school. It sounded like a courtroom. Phones buzzed, cameras flashed, and whispers followed Miss Carter down every hallway. Half the teachers looked sympathetic. The other half looked scared, like justice had suddenly become contagious. She walked straight to the principal's office, head high, navy blazer crisp. Her posture was so composed that even the hall monitor stepped aside without a word. Principal Hughes met her with a weary sigh. "Danielle? I know this is a lot." "Then let's get through it," she said. Her voice was low, steady, the way soldiers talk when they've already accepted the mission. Across the table sat Tyler's parents, Mr. Bennett in a tailored gray suit, Mrs. Bennett clutching her pearls like she'd been mugged instead of her son being restrained. "My boy was assaulted," Mr. Bennett snapped. "We're pressing charges." Danielle didn't flinch. "Your son put his hands on me first." In a classroom, in front of 29 witnesses. "Those kids are biased," he barked. "They adore you. You've manipulated them." Principal Hughes lifted a folder. "There's video evidence from 3 different angles." Mr. Bennett's jaw tightened. "We'll see how long that matters once our lawyer gets involved." Mrs. Bennett's eyes were full of tears. "You could have hurt him, Miss Carter." "Strong." Danielle nodded slowly. "That's called restraint, ma'am. If I hadn't trained for moments like that, your son would have left that lab in an ambulance." Silence. Even Hughes swallowed hard. The tone wasn't angry, it was factual. Military factual. The statement by noon, the district had suspended both teacher and student pending investigation. Danielle wasn't surprised. Procedure was just another battlefield. Outside the school, news vans lined the curb. Reporters yelled questions through microphones. "Miss Carter, did you choke the student? Were you provoked? Did race play a role?" She kept walking. No comment. Eyes forward. That calm became its own headline. Inside the teacher's lounge, co-workers whispered like middle schoolers, "She's done for. Nah, they'll clear her." You saw the clip. Still, white parents don't lose cases like this. Danielle filled her coffee mug. "You all talk like the truth needs permission," she murmured, then walked out. Behind closed doors that afternoon, a closed-door meeting convened. The school board, the superintendent, 2 attorneys, and the teachers' union rep. Danielle sat straight at the end of the table, uninvited but uncheckable. Superintendent Graves cleared his throat. "Ms. Carter, the optics here are sensitive." "You mean racial," she said plainly. He shifted. "We're not saying that, but you are," she interrupted softly. "Because if it weren't, we wouldn't need a press strategy." No one spoke. Graves exhaled. "Look, the district values you. Your record is spotless. But the Bennetts have deep community ties. Donors, influence. We have to tread carefully." Danielle folded her hands. "Carefully or cowardly?" The union rep hid a smirk. The pressure by evening, the school's social media pages flooded with comments. Half support, half outrage. Some posts read, "Protect our teachers." Others, "Fire the violent black woman before she hurts someone else." News channels ran the story on loop. Talk shows debated race and authority in education. Her face became the thumbnail for every conversation America loved to have, but never solved. At home, her phone vibrated nonstop. Unknown numbers, journalists, online trolls. She put it face down. Then came the call from Principal Hughes. "They are holding a formal hearing tomorrow. 9 a.m. in the district boardroom." Danielle looked out her window at the dark sky. The city lights flickering below. "I'll be there," she said. When she hung up, she went to her closet and pulled out an old, neatly folded army jacket. The patches were faded, the name tag still clear. Carter. She brushed the dust from the shoulder. "Guess we fight different wars now," she whispered. The district boardroom smelled of polished wood and nervous sweat. Cameras were forbidden, but everyone knew this hearing would be on social media before sunset. A crowd of reporters waited outside, ready to twist whatever leaked. Danielle Carter walked in first, shoulders square beneath a plain navy blazer. She carried only a notebook and a pen. No lawyer, no entourage, just presence. At the long table sat the board members, Principal Hughes, Superintendent Graves, and the Bennetts with their attorney. Tyler sat between his parents, bandaged pride visible in every twitch of his jaw. "Let the record show," Graves began, "that this is a disciplinary hearing concerning an alleged physical altercation between Ms. Danielle Carter and student Tyler Bennett." Danielle folded her hands. "Alleged?" she repeated quietly, but the microphone caught it. The district attorney read statements, then queued up the video evidence. 3 angles, 3 truths converging. On screen, Tyler's hand shot forward, grabbing her throat. The entire room flinched. Then the move, Fast, efficient, controlled, and Miss Carter's defensive disarm and takedown. No strike, no rage. Just training. When the clip ended, the boardroom sat in silence. The crossfire Mr. Bennett's lawyer leaned forward. Miss Carter, you served in the military, correct? Yes. So you possess combat training? I possess discipline, she replied. That's what stopped this from turning tragic, the lawyer smirked. But you could have restrained him without throwing him to the ground. Danielle kept her gaze level. If I hadn't redirected his momentum, I'd be the one on the floor or worse. Every motion you saw is standard self-defense, the same procedure taught to law enforcement. A murmur rippled through the audience seating area behind her. Teachers, students, and parents had filled every chair. Graves cleared his throat. Let's keep order. Testimony. The door opened. A student stepped in, Maya, the girl who had filmed everything. I was there, she said, voice shaking but determined. Ms. Carter didn't attack him. She saved us. That burner was about to blow. The board chair nodded for her to continue. Maya described the moment. Tyler ignored safety instructions. The panic. The sound of the beaker cracking. By the end, even the Bennett's lawyer sat quiet. Hughes leaned toward the microphone. For the record, no injuries were sustained. The teacher followed emergency protocol and reported the incident immediately. The Turning Point Graves sighed. The board has reviewed all evidence. It's clear Miss Carter acted in self-defense. However, due to public pressure, we recommend a temporary leave until the situation cools. Danielle raised an eyebrow. So you admit I did nothing wrong, but you still want me gone for optics? No one answered. She stood, voice calm but cutting through the room like a whistle on parade. When I taught in uniform, I learned something. Courage isn't doing what's popular. It's doing what's right, even when people whisper. She looked directly at Graves. You have a chance to teach that today. The board members exchanged uneasy glances. The chair finally spoke. Motion to reinstate Miss Carter effective immediately? One by one, hands went up. Even Hughes's. The Bennetts stormed out without a word. Aftermath outside, the hallway erupted in applause. Students hugged her, colleagues clapped, and for the first time that week, Danielle allowed herself to smile. Reporters swarmed, shouting questions. She stopped only once, facing the cameras. Violence isn't power, she said. Control is. That's what every teacher deserves, the power to be safe and respected. Her words hit headlines before nightfall. Hashtag Carter Strong trended by morning. Back home, she placed her army jacket back in the closet. The battle was over, different uniform, same mission. She looked out the window at the rising sun and whispered to herself, lesson delivered,